The Burdge Law Office specializes in RV lemon law nationwide. The following is not legal advice. For additional information, see rvlemonlaw.com. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Wingman Wisdom. Today's video is part one of a series of what I hope you'll find very informational videos with information that I hope you'll never need, but if you need it, this is where you're going to learn it. You know, RVs, recreational vehicles, most of them today are not lemon RVs. They're not. All of them require maintenance, and some of them will really and truly test your patience. But what if you have a problem RV? What if you have a lemon RV? Well, I learned that the waters, so to speak, can get very murky really quickly. Well, recently I had an opportunity to sit down with the nation's foremost RV lemon lawyer to try to help me, well, clear some things up. So whether you own a motorized or a towable, pay attention. Again, this is part one of our series. When it comes to lemons, and we talk about lemon RVs, all lemons are not the same. I guess the motorized is different from the towables. How does that work? Explain it to me a little bit.
If you're talking about the primary difference between the two of them, you'll have generally greater legal rights with a motorized one than not. But the problem is the kind of warranties and the language that you get into and having to get around the roadblocks that they give. As far as which one is most effective, if you talk just basic types, typically it's going to be the motorized one. And that's because there's just simply more that can go wrong with it.
And they're more expensive, than most towables, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Now there's a second aspect though, and that is the cheap towables. The cheap towables, in our experience, are far more defective than the more expensive towables. You get under say $40,000 and the odds begin to go up real fast that you're going to end up with a lemon. Are
you seeing more lemons now post-pandemic, the pandemic COVID builds than you did before the pandemic? You are.
Sure are. And it doesn't matter whether you're talking towable or not. Quantitatively, it just seems like there are more, and the problems are also more serious with the motorized ones than what they used to be.
Now, real quickly, understanding that the quality of new RVs that are being made today, actually starting about April 2020, when COVID really started affecting businesses, the quality of new RVs has, in my opinion, gone down, not all across the board, but too many manufacturers have let their quality go down. Something else important to mention is something called the Magnuson-Moss Consumer Warranty Act. I know it's a mouthful. It's been around for almost 50 years. It is a consumer protection act that covers anything that's a consumer item, a consumer product. And certainly RVs are a consumer product. But is there a national lemon law for RVs?
There really isn't one for RVs at all. And there actually isn't a national one for cars and trucks. But the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act covers all kinds of consumer products. As long as you get a written warranty with whatever it is, then that federal law will cover it. And the difference between the two essentially is that when you talk about Magnuson-Moss, it's a federal lemon law, but it applies to more than just simply motor vehicles. It applies, for instance, to the towables. But it's different from the state ones.
Does it take a specialist, attorney, lawyer that understands Magnuson-Moss if I have a claim on, my RV?
It takes somebody who knows what they're doing. That frankly is one way to put it. Specialist, well, it depends. In many states, an attorney is not allowed to say that they specialize, but what they, legally speaking, but what they can do is say they limit their practice. So for instance, I typically personally, in my office, I limit my practice to handling just the defective recreational vehicle cases. But I can't say I specialize in it, although I did have the Ohio Supreme Court say that I specialized once in a court decision. And I thought, well, they make the laws, so I guess they can say it whatever way they want.
Yeah, kind of a legal technicality there. So I view you as a specialist for what that is worth. So is there a particular state that is better than another? If I have a lemon RV, if I live in, Idaho or Texas or California, and I happen to have a lemon RV, when I contact your office, do you go, oh man, wish you weren't from Wyoming or
There are both good and bad states in terms of what their laws can do. For instance, in Wisconsin and in New York, those are probably the two states that have the best consumer protection laws for RV buyers. But generally speaking, the law that's going to apply is where you bought the RV, not necessarily where you live. In fact, seldom where you live. And in a lot of RVs, the manufacturer's warranty will say what the law of the state is that's going to be applicable. And of course, they almost always choose Indiana because Indiana's living law and its other laws are not pro-consumer, not by a long stretch. They really favor the manufacturers.
All right, so here are my takeaways from that short visit with Ron Burdge. Number one, there seem to be more lemon motorized RVs than towables. Number two, you get what you pay for. Even in RVs, the cheaper the RV, the greater the chance is that you might be buying a lemon. Number three, when it comes to your RV and RV lemon law, you need to pull out your warranty. I believe most people may not even know where their warranty is, much less they've read it. So find your warranty, read it, and understand your rights. To me, it's sort of like the saying, it's better to have a parachute and not need it than need one and not have it. Next time, Ron is going to be talking about mistakes that RV owners make that have no idea that they voided their warranty. If you like this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Right next to that button is a little bell. If you click on that bell, you'll see a pop-up will say all. Click on all. That way you'll get all of the notifications whenever I release a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Part 2 of this series will be on tomorrow. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you tomorrow.